What a great early season matchup. What a great early season matchup this turned into. The 2-1.
Alrighty, are you ready for week 4 talk?
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
I don't know.
Great enthusiasm to start.
Yes, I'm pretty depressed. So yeah.
Accurate.
I
Well,
think
Bill Belichick says Mac Jones day to day 12 times. Does that mean he's 12 days out?
well, day to day,
It's
there's
a
2
sign.
days, so that would be 24 days.
Okay. Mac Jones back by week 8.
That's in time for the Jets game, right?
Right?
Good question.
Let's see, you said week 8, you said?
Week 8.
Week 8, let's see.
Yes.
Yep. Exactly. This is Bill Belichick with a big brain move. Like he's just holding on to him until he has to face the Jets.
All right, well, I guess we could start off by talking about last week's Thursday Night Football. The Steelers, man, they stink, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Poor Mitch.
DJ Watt is the anchor of that defense, and without him, even Minka Fitzpatrick
without him, they
can't.
suck.
He can't be everywhere at once, and yeah, they
Well-
just generate no pressure.
Let's see, what was Mitch's stat line for that game?
Not great, Bob.
I don't think it was that bad, is the thing. Like, he just doesn't have a lot of help.
Like Trubisky isn't the worst quarterback in the NFL,
Excuse me. Sneeze.
but because that title belongs to Joe Flacco.
He's not
But-
gonna lose you many games, but he's not gonna elevate.
He's not gonna elevate.
Except
you.
for
And-
like the 3 times last year where he did elevate and lead a game-winning drive with like a minute to go.
yes, but that's because he's the MVP.
Yeah, but now we've had a couple years of this, we have multiple MVPs now.
It's true. Yeah, like Trubisky just doesn't strike me as he's the guy that you have starting before you draft the guy. Or I guess maybe in the Steelers' case, before you start the guy, because they want to keep Pickett away from the field for I don't know how long, even though he looked good in preseason.
Or he's like the guy that you start until your actual guy learns his lesson about touching massage therapists.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Trubisky's stat line, okay? 20 completions for 32 attempts, 207 yards, completion 62.5%. Long ball of 36, 1 sack. Okay.
Well,
But
sacks
here's the
could be
thing.
worse, but
Pedestrian.
Here's Tua's stat line this past week, and he won against the Bills.
Okay. We're going here. We're going straight to Tua slander.
I have.
I
Well,
love it.
it's not really slander, but it's just like, comparative. You know what I mean? His stat line 13 for 18, so not a lot of attempts compared to Trubisky. 72.2%, 186 yards total. That's it. That is it.
Okay, but how many plays did they run?
That is a good point. They didn't. What's weird is that like the Bills ran most of the clock. Like we had the ball for like 40 minutes.
Right? That's what I thought about that
The
game.
problem is we gassed ourselves out.
Because it was 100 degrees in Miami.
It was 100 and like 80% humidity, I guess. It was like
you had linemen going into heat stroke. It was that bad.
oh yeah, they were on both sides. They were dropping like flies. It wasn't just the Bills. Like that's how I know it was bad. Is that even Miami players were fucking falling over, and they're
honestly,
used to it.
there should be no football in Florida. It is a disgrace to geography and humanity.
Now Florida is being washed away by
yeah.
Hurricane Ian.
Yeah,
And I think they said the Buccaneers game might have to go to Minnesota.
So nature corrects itself.
So
Interesting. So yeah, like Trubisky didn't have a horrible stat line, but I also don't know how much of that came out of garbage time. They did kind of put on some gas in garbage time. That's how I hit. That's how I was hitting a little bit of some of my bets. Is that Freiermuth? Freiermuth got all of his yards in the very end.
Man, that last second defensive touchdown that fucked over everybody's like under-overs and
including my prediction about the score, despite getting the teams wrong.
Right score, wrong teams.
I would have taken some pride in that.
That I thought that was a funny moment. There was just like, because you knew that touchdown, just even though it meant nothing in the context of the game.
Oh yeah,
it meant everything to people who are betting on the game, and also some people who had maybe the Browns defense in fantasy. Even though I think they only ended up with like 10 points, but
Steelers. Because the Browns got the touchdown, so
yeah, that's what I mean. The Browns defense, because it was the Browns defense that got the touchdown.
Yeah.
So they went from like a 4-point defense to I think like a 10-point or something, pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was not a fun game to watch, but
No,
I did hit a bet on that one, so I guess I'm okay with it. That was so exciting, man. Going from nowhere near it, and then all of a sudden, just like boom,
you have it.
Back-to-back passes to Freiermuth, who hasn't had a single touch all game. So
yeah,
at least I had some excitement on it.
But I don't think that game was terribly exciting, and we have Dolphins Bengals coming up, which that is. Something tells me that's not going to be very exciting to watch either.
Probably not.
Not on short rests, I don't think.
No.
That's the deal with all these Thursday games.
I haven't looked at any of the injury updates for Miami, but a lot of players left early. But the thing is, if it was just full body cramps, like 2 days of IVs and they're good to go.
Yeah. It's get some Pedialyte in you and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
No shot. Okay, hear me out on this. No shot the Dolphins are getting 4 points at Cincinnati.
That just really. So that's two things. I don't think that's so much Miami getting the props for being a better team. I think
people are down on the Bengals.
Yes, I think Vegas is very down on the Bengals, and the only reason why
the Bengals are 4-point favorites.
Oh, favorites. Oh, never mind. All right.
Oh, that's
the Bengals are favorites.
Yeah. Okay. That seems accurate.
I don't know. The Dolphins might be better than people are giving them credit for.
They are better than people are giving them credit for sure.
Drive left field. It's gone. 61.
All right, we need to stop doing this on baseball nights.
Yeah, that's like every night, Buzz.
That's true. It is forever. Yeah, that's weird. I would imagine it would be a little closer, Miami and Cincinnati. I guess that would be a little bit closer.
It just so happened, though, Puzz, that nobody has pitched to Aaron Judge in the last week, so he hasn't gotten it.
Yeah.
He walked 4 times yesterday.
Yep. All right, so moving out of baseball, though. Yeah, I actually don't see the Bengals being 4-point favorites. They played terribly against the Steelers. They played terribly against
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys, who are starting Cooper Rush. And they only barely, well, not barely, but they beat a Jets team that was led by Joe Flacco and was honestly playing a pretty soft zone. I mean, Jamar Chase got held to, what was his stat line last week?
Jamar Chase?
Yeah, like, I know he had a touchdown.
No, he didn't. I think he had a really shit stat line. Hold on.
Yeah, 6 receptions, 29 yards, 1 touchdown. So, and of those yards, I believe, because the Jets had Sauce Gardner on him most of the day. And like when they took Sauce off Jamar, that's when the bad shit, or I guess for Jamar, the good shit happened. You know? So, but even then, like looking at his stat line, it's certainly like he had a good week against the Steelers where they kind of forced the ball to him. But against the Cowboys and the Jets, Chase kind of hit like a low.
Yeah, because they don't really have a good number 2. You know what I mean? Like, they have Jamar Chase, but like then they have Tyler Boyd.
They have Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins.
They're not the greatest, though. So, like, if you double cover Jamar Chase and you put 4-man pressure on Burrow, he's going to have to dump it off to, like, Higgins or Boyd.
I mean, Boyd had 105 yards last week, but that was because the Jet safeties forgot how to tackle.
I mean, no, this was the same beforehand. Like, if you took a Cincinnati receiver a couple of years ago, you had to accept whether Tyler Boyd was going to be the one to go off that week or AJ Green. So I would argue that Tyler Boyd.
That's assuming AJ Green didn't have turf toe. Like, let's be real.
No, when he was playing, you had 8 weeks of AJ Green dominance and 8 weeks of Tyler Boyd dominance, and you just didn't know which one you were going to get.
Well,
so I think he is more of a wide receiver too. He played that role before.
It comes down to 2 different things, though. It comes down to how good your secondary is on the team. That, like, let's say the Bengals are coming to town. It depends on the secondary for the team playing against them. If they have a weak secondary, you don't know how coaches are going to prioritize the game plan. Like, are we going to completely take Jamar Chase away and that's our primary focus and deal with anything else? Or are we going to play like we'll spread it out? You know, we won't put our best guy on him. Like, if he lines up on the left side of the field, whatever. Because also some teams, their corners play left side and right side. Like, that's it. But other teams will just put their best corner and just, the best receiver is over here, so our best corner is going to the right side on this play. Oh, the receiver's lining up the left. We're going to put our best corner on the left this time. Like, every defense kind of handles those situations different. And that's why, like, you can have a Jamar Chase that has like a decent stat line or a good stat line because the defense either can't cover him or didn't game plan as severely against him, or they'll completely shut him down, and then there'll just have to be more receptions to a wide receiver 2 and 3 like Boyd and Higgins.
Yeah. I don't know. It's... If I had to pick someone for the Thursday game, I as much as I hate to do it, I think the Dolphins have the edge. The game is being played in Cincy?
Yes.
Okay, so well, I don't know. I mean, that's a game I'd like to see the Dolphins lose. Do not get me wrong.
I can see them losing it. It just depends on their injuries. Right now, Xavier Howard is questionable.
And Waddle is questionable.
Waddle. I don't see him on the report, actually. Oh, yeah, he is also questionable. Limited practice, so that's not so bad. Tua is questionable, but he's probably playing for sure. Teron Armstead, questionable, but he has not practiced at all yet, so that's not looking good.
Speaking of Tua, that concussion protocol.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
that
man.
was horseshit. Like, I don't care that he came back in the game. I was mostly kind of like rolling my eyes at the fact, like, his back spasmed. That's why he looked like he was gonna fall over.
Bro, come on. You're just gonna be like,
Man,
oh
how
yeah,
fucking
no.
stupid can you be to actually think that?
Exactly. The dude had fucking Bambi legs. Like, he was just like, ugh, like, he was done. And
When the team comes out and says it's a head injury, it's a fucking head injury.
Yeah, but it wasn't. They completely, like, I mean, I don't really know because I'm just the guy watching at home, but he had outward signs of a head injury. And
absolutely, 100%.
whoever the fuck the third party like consultant is on that,
The concussion spotter?
Yeah, if whoever the concussion spotter is in Miami likely is getting paid off. Like,
either that or that concussion spotter is someone who would fall for one of those Nigerian prince scam emails.
yeah, probably.
Because, like, they got fucking, I think they got duped. It was just like, oh no, he just had back spasms. Like, and they're just like, okay, yeah, that's believable. It's
yeah,
like,
but they're supposed to be like third party, don't give a shit. Like, they don't care about.
Oh yeah, no, like, I'm not saying that they, something fishy was there, because there's no way that, he should have been allowed to come back in. Like, he just should not have. Not that I think it really mattered in the long run, because the Dolphins didn't really get many points in the second half, did they?
No, they didn't.
So
their total offense in general in the second half was bad, but the Bills just. So I mean, I guess we can move right into our own home team recaps for the week.
Sure.
Bills just fucked up. We didn't have Mitch Morse at center, so we had a backup center, Van Roten.
Greg Van Roten.
Which caused several issues, and I won't blame the player, but it's just difficult for, I was listening to the radio, and one of the guys that talks in Bills radio all the time, and he's part of like the Bills radio team, is Eric Wood, and he used to be the center for the Bills in 2017, I think in 2018.
His name sounds familiar.
He was forced into retirement because he had a neck injury, and they're like, dude, you can't do this anymore. So he had to retire. I think we went to the playoffs in 2017. He played that and then had to retire immediately after. But I mean, he was in the league for like 8-9 years at that point, so it wasn't like all that bad. But anyway, he was saying that as a center, he's like, the hardest snap to do is the QB sneak snap or the spike snap.
Yeah,
and he's like,
because you gotta go quick.
Yeah, he said it's mostly because the guys in front of you, like, they can
know it's coming.
They know it's coming and they go right into you. And he's like, I have separated my shoulder on some of those snaps before, just because you don't have time to get your arms up. So he's like, if they're not good at it or if they're new at it, it's difficult. So that fucked us at the end of the first half. They screwed up the snap. Allen couldn't get the ball in his hands, panicked, and then that's why he like threw it over to Diggs on the sideline. So we couldn't get a chance at a field goal there. We missed a field goal in the second half. And then obviously at the end of the game, McKenzie tried to get out of bounds, didn't make it out of bounds. We tried to snap it on time. We couldn't. So it's like we lost by 2 points, but the Bills had several opportunities to put up points on the board, and we just came up short. And it was mostly because by the time we got into the red zone, that offense was fucking gassed from the heat. So
yeah,
I'm not too upset by the loss. The weather definitely had a huge contributing factor to it.
Yeah, playing in Miami like
Definitely.
this early in the year cannot be fun.
In fact, I think like the spread for Miami at Buffalo in week 14, 15, 16 at home, like has the Bills at like -7.5 or something. even after we lost to Miami, they're like, yeah, there's no way the Bills are losing at home.
They're basically saying that was a fluke.
No, they're just, I won't say fluke. Weather's weather, you know? And Miami does have a stadium that is set up in a way where the visiting team has no shade whatsoever. And the sun is just beating on them the entire time. I mean, it sucks, but that's home field advantage. So we lost because of it. It was a 2-point game. Butt punt.
Butt punt.
Butt punt was pretty funny.
It was.
But yeah, I'm cool with it. I mean, we were down a game in the division. No biggie.
Yeah. All right, so now I have to be infuriated for a couple minutes.
Have fun.
The Jets-Bengals game, that was a game going into it, I was like, this is either going to go one of two ways. You're either going to get a repeat of last year when the Jets played the Bengals, where it's like, it's a high-scoring affair, but, you know, we kind of tit for tat the Bengals, and then, you know, maybe we come up with the W, or we're just going to get our asses kicked. And we pretty much got our asses kicked. It was really infuriating, especially from a defensive standpoint, because our defense is not good. The Jet defense, which it kind of sucks because for years and years and years, the Jets have almost always prided themselves on, at the very least, having a good defense. They don't this year, and they didn't really last year either. And it's really infuriating to just see. It's like, you know, short pass here, short pass there, screen here, you know, a decent run there, and, you know, next thing you know, you give up a touchdown, and there's nothing that you can do. I can be mad at Joe Flacco for being shit, but it's also asking him to score 30 points. I think that might be elder abuse. I
feel like you say that each week.
I do,
but the good news is
I will continue to, because you're
getting Wilson back soon. So
yes, we get Wilson back this week, so that's a bright spot. Hopefully, it's a bright spot, because there's just been a lot of talk like among Jet fans. It's like, you know, who's to blame? You know, do you blame? You know, first, is it offense or defense? Because, you know, the offense didn't score a touchdown this week. It was 4 field goals.
Oof.
You know, so
well, you are playing with a backup,
and we are playing with a backup, and, you know, there were documented like parts where it's like, you know, okay, here's Flacco. It's like 2nd and 10. This is the all 22 freeze frame. Here's Garrett Wilson wide open. Here's Corey Davis wide open. Guess what Joe Flacco did? He threw it to the back of the end zone in a throwaway. And it's like, that can't happen.
Definitely can't. I mean, I will say that every quarterback, if you really peel back the tape, you're going to see guys open. But
yeah, but the fact that he had 2 guys open and his first response was, I'm going to throw it away.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of those scenarios where having Zach Wilson, I should say, I have to differentiate now. Having Zach, like, maybe try to want to make a play and have that mentality of, oh, you know, there's Wilson, I see him open, throw it, and boom, you know, maybe it's a first down, maybe it's a touchdown. Like, you know, that's something that I want to see.
Well, we'll see how it goes this week.
We're playing the Steelers. We're playing Trubisky.
You got a chance.
We should. This is a game I've had marked on my calendar when the schedule came out, where I was just like, this is a game we should win, because the Steelers would either be starting Pickett or Trubisky. Either way, I think we should have a chance. But my confidence in the defense is now kind of at an all-time low, where it's like, I feel like this is good. If there were any week where Trubisky is going to look good, is this week.
This just in, Steelers starting Duck Hodges.
Exactly.
We're fucked.
We're fucked. Like, yeah. I'd love to win. I'd love to be 2-2. That would be a great amount of progress, especially because we're going to be hitting probably our worst stretch, although the Broncos game doesn't seem too bad now. But, you know, I think we have to face Miami. I think we have to face the Patriots. Well, we'll have to face the Patriots, but they'll probably be out with Mac Jones, but maybe not. I don't know. That's a weird situation.
Yeah, you just gotta play that by ear.
We got to face Green Bay, but they'll be coming back from London, so you kind of hope
their backup, by the way, is Brian Hoyer.
Yes.
On the Patriots.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
In case we didn't know that.
I didn't.
Yeah. He's been the backup for like 2-3 years now.
Boy.
Yeah, I think he's been there ever since Brady left, or maybe even the year before he left. Maybe. I think he was actually the backup.
What? So how about Monday Night Football there, Brendan? How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, you know, okay. Here's the thing. I could have sat here last week and clowned your Giants pick, because we never win in primetime. We never beat the Cowboys in primetime. I believe the last time I can remember beating the Cowboys in primetime was week 1 of what had to have been 2016, when we went down to Jerry World and won because the Cowboys forgot to stop the clock.
Wasn't that also the year Des Bryant got hurt? Because I'm pretty sure I drafted him in fantasy, and
could have been. I don't fucking know, but that was a Sunday Night Football game, and that's the last time I remember us winning against the Cowboys in primetime.
And that was the last time you were happy, and since then you've been dead inside.
Even with Cooper Rush carves the defense because the secondary is non-existent. The game was pretty stagnant for 3 quarters. It was 6-6 at halftime. I'm sorry, but you've been here, the offense has been here long enough now. I'm not solely blaming Daniel Jones for this, but especially with the offensive coordinators he's been around, but you're playing against a team that is starting their backup quarterback. You need to win this game. I believed after Tennessee in week 1 that we could have won this game. And I've been same old Giants fucking to death now over the last couple of years, and I can't get excited anymore.
I'm dead inside.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just another way of saying I'm dead inside. Saquon looked okay. He looked,
I
standard.
wouldn't say okay. He actually started looking like old Saquon now.
He's starting to look like rookie Saquon again. Yeah. The more weeks go on, that hey, now you're just praying every week that he doesn't get hurt again. It's really what it is. And then whatever production you get after that, as long as it's not 20 carries for 45 yards, you'll take it. This loss rests solely on the offensive line. Holy fuck, they are bad. Except for Andrew Thomas. We are really looking at the possibility here that Gettleman found a diamond. We got clowned on relentlessly for that pick. You could have had any tackle in the draft, and they took Andrew Thomas. Remember 5 points, fucking putting the plungers on his head after they drafted him. And Tree laughing hysterically in his face. Andrew Thomas, mark my words, he's going to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, there it is. It's funny because I remember the Andrew Thomas pick, and I thought it was a good pick. I did really
too. At that point, we just needed a tackle. As long as they went tackle, I felt they could not miss.
And from what I remember from the mock drafts at the time, Thomas was the top rated. I think it went Thomas, Wirfs. I think Wirfs is the one that went to. No, hold on. Andrew Thomas draft. Let's see. 2020. Oh, it was the 2020 draft, right? Because that was the Becton draft. Thomas was the first one I remember on like all the draft boards. Like everyone was like, okay, if like there's a tackle that's going first off, it's going to be Thomas. And yeah, he looked a little bad at first, but then
just like a rookie does.
Didn't you fire your offensive line coach and then suddenly he was just like, oh yeah, look at that, I'm better now. Like, and
we did fire our offensive line coach. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly when Thomas turned a corner, but it wouldn't surprise me. Also, he's probably getting some coaching from Dabes and his new staff, who know how to actually protect Allen, even with fucking now we've got John Feliciano.
But have you invested much in the offensive line after Tom? Well, no, you just drafted.
Yeah, we had Neal. The problem was Neal. Monday night was his baptism game. He got netted on over and over and over again. He was totally overmatched at right tackle.
He was.
Like Parsons, it's like hey man, I'm gonna bend you over.
It smells like bitch in here.
I'm gonna call you. You gonna be calling me daddy for 4 quarters.
Okay, please stop. But yeah, no, like it. Thomas is good. I think Neal's gonna be okay, but like you gotta.
He's gonna be good. He just needs time.
You gotta figure because the offensive line is a unit, and the unit one thing it needs is stability, because that's been one issue that the Jets have had, where, I mean, right now. Our center is, I think, McGovern. Our right guard is Vera Tucker. Our right tackle is Max Mitchell, who's actually been a diamond in the rough for us out of this draft class. Like, he wasn't supposed to start. And through 3 games, he's probably been one of our better tackles on the right side. He's been, like, our best tackle on the right side. So it's like, okay, cool. We found our right tackle. And we have Laken Tomlinson. He's been okay at left guard. But we have no left tackle. Like, Becton got hurt. Fant is hurt. Brown is hurt. It's bad.
Yeah. We have to start Feliciano at center because Nick Gates is out for the year.
Yeah. So it's but the offensive line, it gets better as the year goes on and they get chemistry and then suddenly they're a unit.
Yeah.
But you need that stability. Like you can't be like plugging people in left and right.
Moving on from the offensive line, because of their performance, there was only so much Jones could do. Jones set a franchise record for most times pressured in a game.
Did he set that record, or did the offensive line set that record?
You know what I'm talking about. The line set the record. They're going to attribute it to Jones because he's the quarterback. It's the most times the offensive line doesn't get pressured. The quarterback gets pressured. And Jones was pressured at least 25 times on Monday night. 5 sacks, a bunch of throwaways, a bunch of scrambles to just get back to the line to avoid a sack. There's only so much he can do, and it's another week where the offensive line hinders him to the point where we can't learn anything about him. We can't. The everlasting question of, is Daniel Jones the guy, remains unanswered for another week. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, so I think we all know the answer to that question.
Yes. The answer is that Joe Shane is going to draft his own guy.
Yes, and right now we're just kind of at the point of the answer where it's like, okay, show your work. Right now where it's just like, okay, you know what the answer is, but you just need to be able to show your work so that you could just be like, okay, yeah, that's a reasonable thing. Like, okay, Daniel, it was a fun couple years, not really, go fumble somewhere else.
Yeah,
like, it's
we're not playing Jones. We're not playing Jones to figure out whether or not we're keeping him, unless, like, in the second half of the season, he just turns into Patrick Mahomes, and we're all like, whoa, like something clicks. But Jones is playing for the future of his career, to latch on somewhere else. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
The
meme is that he's going to be the Colts quarterback next year.
Yeah, 100%. It's not even a meme.
100%.
It's not even a meme.
Yeah, it's like it's
it really is. It's a meme that's based in reality. So he's playing for that. Saquon is also playing for his second contract. And now we've lost Shepard for the year with a torn ACL on
just a freak injury,
gobbled up by the fucking turf monster. Like, I didn't realize we were playing at FedEx North over here.
Okay, but you have to because even our head coach before Salo coached the Jets,
remember what Shanahan said.
Yes, it's Shanahan and Salo. They both have said it, so they both know the MetLife turf fucking sucks. It's whatever they have underneath that underneath layer is not good for players' knees because all Shepard was doing was decelerating. He was just like, okay, play's over. I just gonna jog, and his ACL just snaps. How the fuck does that happen? It wasn't even like he did a cut and put too much pressure. Dude was doing something I would do.
Yeah,
and then
dude was doing
ACL...
he could have done that in fucking warm-ups.
Yeah, which that and not to put the blame on the Giants, but at least from what I've heard as a Jets fan is that because we co-own the stadium, the Jets have said we want new turf, and the Giants have said we're not paying for that.
That's very John Mara. I
exactly
fully believe that.
Yeah, I don't want to put that onus on the Giants, but at the same time, you gave your season ticket holder reward was a free medium Pepsi per group.
Delicious.
So exactly. So I think it's safe to say I think Mara might be a cheap asshole.
So to move on a little bit, we've got the Bears this week. This game is entirely winnable because I still don't think Chicago is anything.
I also don't think Justin Fields is very good.
I don't think Justin Fields is very good. However, the Giants' defense is the kind of defense that will let Justin Fields ball out. I think this game is entirely winnable. ESPN even is giving the Giants a 65% chance to win this game, which I think is it's a little generous. We're 3-point favorites. We're at home.
You're at home, so then if it were a neutral stadium,
it'd be a pick'em, yes. Which is crazy. Which, in fact, I think I was just looking at the Jets spread, and it was either 3 or 4 points. It's 3 points.
Yeah,
so the Steelers are 3-point. So, how does that work? How are the Steelers even money against the Jets in a neutral stadium?
Because they're playing the Jets. I mean,
probably just because they're home. Because it's at Steelers.
No, he's saying in a neutral stadium.
I'm saying in a neutral stadium. I'm saying in a neutral stadium, it's a pick'em. How is that possible? I think the Steelers are at least 1 degree better. But I digress. This is a game they could win. I'm looking at Justin Fields' stats on the year right now. 23 of 45, 297, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks. Montgomery is questionable. Roquan Smith is questionable.
Nah, they're all gonna play. They're just getting veteran.
What the Bears have is actually a run game. Their offensive line is pretty solid at running the ball. So I mean, if Montgomery's hurt, then whatever. But if he's healthy, that's their strongest thing, and that's the reason why I think his stat line is so shit, because they kind of really lean into the run game.
Might just be veterans rest on a Wednesday. Don't know. So yeah, they could win this game. It wouldn't surprise me at the least if they fucking lost. That is the Giants recap.
Yeah.
Montgomery's not even their lead carrier, though. It's Khalil Herbert.
Well, what's next on the docket? Are we talking survivor picks?
Yes.
Yeah, we're a little behind, I think.
All right, let's get the survivor pick music going.
All right. Yeah, I'm still looking over these picks. I think I have my 3-point and my 2, but I don't know about my 1.
To recap the week for those who don't know,
Keeping score at home.
Liam had a perfect week 3.
Damn.
Clean sweep.
6 for 6. 3 for 3, however you want to word it. Me, a fucking goose egg.
Hey, man, it
Big
happens.
old goose egg, gang.
The 49ers blew the game, an easily winnable game against the Broncos. The Lions blew a 10-point lead in the third quarter to Minnesota. And the Colts beat the Chiefs because, fuck you, it's football. That's all I got.
That's, yeah.
Puz,
Special teams.
I believe Puz got 2 points on the week. He got his Ravens pick,
Yes.
as did Liam, the same pick.
Yep.
But lost on the 1-pointer, and he went with me on the 3-pointer with the Chiefs. To Liam's chagrin of, haha, I didn't fall for the trap game. So,
Yes.
Liam, you are now tied for the lead with me with 8 points, and you had a perfect week, so lead
I get
us
to go
off.
first. All right, so for my 1-point play, I don't think I've picked them before, so I'm going to pick them now. I got the Motor City Kitties beating the Seattle Seahawks in my 1-point play. I believe the Seahawks are in Detroit.
That
I
they are?
think that the Lions have a fantastic offense with Amon-Ra St. Brown.
And popping off.
And I also think I think Aiden Hutchinson is playing. The Seahawks to me are just, they feel like a team that's just going through the motions. The Lions feel like a team with a purpose. Like, they're both 1-2. But man, it's the difference.
It's a tale of 2 1-2s.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tale of 2 1-2s. I'm gonna go with the Lions as my 1-point play.
Love this pick.
I love it. You know why? You know why?
What?
Because
Why?
you're taking, I don't know, you're
No,
taking the
they got
Seahawks.
because they got heart.
They got heart.
With heart.
For my
I was trying to find the audio clip of I love you guys. Oh, here it is.
Man, I swear
You
to
guys can't hear it,
all I
but
think about is you
Yeah.
guys. That's all I think about, man. That's all I think about is you guys and how I set you up for the best possible advantage I can give you to have a season. I swear to you, man.
anyway,
all right.
I
So
love
that
this fucking
is,
speech.
yeah, I know, it's great. For my 2-point play, might have to throw this one. I might have to throw a Hail Mary on this one because there's really nothing else that really stands out to me. I think for my 2-point play, I'm gonna go with the London game, even though I'm not going to watch it because
Wow.
fuck getting up at 9:30 in the morning on a Sunday.
well, that's such a toss-up game.
It is, but I have faith. I think that the Vikings are different this year. And even if they're not, I think that this is the time to get my feelings out on the Vikings because usually they'll do really good in the beginning of the year and then Kirk Cousins, I don't know, remembers that he's Kirk Cousins and that he's got to be mediocre, and then like after the bye week they just shit the bed. So I think now's the time to invest in the Vikings. I've already invested in the Vikings I think once before.
You lost.
And I lost, so
The Redeemer.
I'm going with redemption. I'm going to say the Vikings is my 2-point play against the Saints. I'm not very high on the Saints. I don't think the Saints are very good.
No. Any team that's like using 2 quarterbacks in any given game, I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, we like Taysom Hill for the memes, but
It's not funny anymore.
Yeah. It's starting to get it's beating a dead horse. And for my 3-point play, I think this one's actually a bit of a layup, all things considered.
Oh, I think you know where you're going here.
I'm going with the Green Bay Packers to beat the New England Patriots. Mac Jones is out. Aaron Rodgers is not.
Game's at Lambeau.
The game is at Lambeau. The Patriots defense might be able to put up some sort of a showing, but I would be very shocked if they managed to beat the Packers. Of course, watch them go ahead and do it anyway. Because they're the Patriots, but that was kind of the only, because the rest of these games are just garbage, and now it's like Chiefs Buccaneers might be at a neutral site too, so you have to take that into account as well. That game might not be in Tampa Bay, so I'm gonna go with the Packers at home beating the Patriots as my 3-point.
Solid.
Okay, great stuff. Being tied with Liam in the lead, I'll go next. So Puz gets an extra second here. For my 1-pointer, I think Liam and I are going to be in a little bit of lockstep this week. We know how each other think, and I think we've got pretty similar outlooks on these games. I'm also going to take Detroit for my 1. I was heavily considering the Jets game, picking the Jets straight up.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. I wouldn't do it.
I think that Zach coming back, sometimes when a team gets a star player back, it galvanizes the rest of the team. I think the Wilson to Wilson connection is going to be there. I don't think that Pittsburgh is necessarily ready for the dynamic that Wilson brings because of the fact that without TJ Watt, they don't have a pass rush. And I think basically the same thing's going to happen that happened to them last week with the Browns. Wilson can run.
Yes, he can.
He can make plays with his feet. He can find Garrett Wilson, just like Liam was saying in his breakdown of the Jets game previously. But that isn't my pick. My pick is the Lions, and it's for every reason that Liam said, so I thought I'd talk about the Jets game instead.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are trending down. I think the Lions are trending up. They still put up 24 points last week. I don't know how much the Seahawks in their 3 games, they've scored 17, 7, and 23. But in the Lions, they've scored, over 30 the first 2 weeks and then 24 last week. So I like the Lions offense to match up against the Seahawks D. It's at home. Give me the Lions. My 2. I hate to pick this, but it's looking more and more like they are real. This is also a bit of a revenge game on the other side. Doug Peterson's return to Philadelphia.
Ooh.
But I don't know if the Jalen Hurts for MVP talk is there yet.
No, but
I am taking the Eagles for my 2.
I think he's showing that he's for real, and I think that the Eagles defense is showing that they're a solid unit.
The way things stand, as soon as Prescott went down, it's not a miracle that Dallas won each of these 2 games that he hasn't played, but they've gotten fortunate. They caught the Bengals when they were weak, and they played a Giants team that they've just beat up on over the last 10 years. NFC East hasn't had a repeat winner in over a decade. Cowboys won last year. Eagles are winning this year. Mm-hmm. The trend continues. Eagles will start the year 4-0. Jacksonville, you're getting better. You're getting there. You had a good win last week. A really strong win, honestly. They dominated in all 3 facets, I think. At least offense and defense. Who cares about special teams at that point? But I think they will run into a brick wall here The Philadelphia Eagles are that team that executes in every phase, and I like them to run away with this one at home. My 2-pointer, Philadelphia.
Okay.
And my 3-pointer, once again, in lockstep, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
No Mac Jones. Lambeau home field advantage. Aaron Rodgers, even, given his receiver situation, it's still a better situation than the Patriots find themselves in right now. Barring absolute catastrophe, I don't see how they lose this game. I think even if Aaron Rodgers got hurt, Jordan Love gives them a good chance to win this game. That's how confident I am.
Yeah.
Packers for 3.
Okay. Buzz?
All right. Not sure how close or in lockstep I'm going to be with you guys, but I think we all got the same idea on a couple of these. For my 1 point, I think I'm going to go with Chargers over Texans. Chargers don't really have a great record. They're 1-2. Texans obviously a worse record, 0-2-1. I think the Chargers are better than their record suggests. I know Herbert's hurt, but he still seems to be doing pretty good in my eyes. So I'm going to take.
They also just lost. Remember, they just lost Joey Bosa.
Yeah, they did just lose Bosa.
They're against the Texans. They're playing at home,
and last week they were against the Jaguars and lost by 28.
Jaguars are sneaky good, though, is kind of the thing. Jaguars, I think teams under-prepare for them. But now that they're like in week 4, I think more teams are going to respect the Jaguars when they pop up on the schedule now. Don't you think?
I mean,
after that game, yeah.
Yeah. I feel
not
like
a layup.
They're not a layup game. I think some teams might have really not done as much work or respected them as much as they should have. Lawrence is doing great. He's got a good rapport with his receivers over there. Kirk, right, is over there now. He's having a pretty good season. Like, it's surprising. But all that being said, I am going to pick the Eagles over the Jaguars for my 2-point pick. Eagles, just like the Jaguars, are sneaky good, but the Eagles, I feel like, are just sneaky better. Jalen Hurts having a great season, really. The Jaguars defense, I don't think is going to be good enough to keep Hurts in that offense kind of, down. And I think the Eagles just have.
I think it's that and the same thing on the other side. Lawrence won't be able to keep up with the Philly D.
Exactly. That's really what I think is. I don't think their offense is as high powered as the Eagles are. I wouldn't say high powered, but the Eagles are consistent. They have been scoring points every game. So it's going to be tough against the Jaguars. Like, anytime they punt, they're going to go further and further in a deficit,
Yeah.
So I'm taking Eagles on that one for my 2-point play. And the 3-point play, I'm definitely on the same page as you guys. There ain't no fucking way Hoyer's going to go into Green Bay and beat the Pack up there. So definitely taking the Packers to beat the Patriots for 3 points.
He's gonna go out and do it, isn't he?
I mean, dude, it would be a great thing to talk about on Sunday or next week.
Very interesting. We basically we've had a logjam week. I don't think there's going to be very little movement in the standings this week.
True.
Yeah.
True. But the thing is, it's that much of a weeks. It's one of those things. I mean, what are you going to do? Chiefs at Bucks. That's like a 50-50. Rams at 49ers. That probably could have gotten a point on Monday Night Football. I think the Rams could probably take that one pretty easy.
I think the Rams will take that one, but I've already bet the Rams once this year, and I want to see
Broncos and Raiders. Not a good one. Cardinals at Panthers. That was one that I was thinking about taking.
I would have taken the Cardinals.
Yeah, same. I was thinking about that for mine as well. Jets at Steelers, kind of a toss-up. Bears at Giants, toss-up. Titans
at Colts. I had a mouthful of ice cream, but you know why I would have taken the Cardinals over the Panthers.
Why is that?
Because the Modern Warfare 2 beta is over.
Yeah, true.
Murray won't be distracted.
Titans at Colts.
I gotta actually study for this game. Oh man.
Well, I don't know. Did you hear Vanguard is adding the F2000? You know, the famous World War II weapon.
No, I thought it was Modern Warfare 2 that was adding the.
No, that's Vanguard. That's Vanguard season is adding the F2000.
Oi, oi, oi.
Yeah, tell me about it. Like, it makes... Oh, yeah, here's the famous World War II weapon, the Belgian F2000 with a fucking hollow sight. Because, you know, totally existed.
Other matchups, Titans at Colts, too much of a toss-up. Seahawks and Lions, you guys already picked one of those. Cowboys, Commanders. Cowboys at home. That probably was an easy bet, but the Cowboys are the Cowboys, so you never know. Bills at Ravens, too many injuries on the Bills to really be 100% on that one. I personally, not with the point picks. I think the Bills have that one, but it is a road game and they are banged up, so we don't know. Browns at Falcons, who the fuck knows? Saints, Vikings, Dolphins, Bengals, we talked about. So yeah, like it's a weird week.
Yeah.
If the Bengals-Dolphins game was not on a Thursday, I might have taken the Dolphins.
You mean like if they had more time to rest?
Yes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's fair.
I just don't like taking Thursday games, period.
Yeah, so speaking of Thursday games, so we're not talking about the Survivor picks anymore, but what do you guys think? Who do you think's going to win? Bengals, Dolphins?
I will say, to give a score, 27-20 Dolphins.
I'm gonna say 31-14 Dolphins. I don't think the Bengals stand much of a chance.
Wow, giving them 16, 17 points?
Yeah, I think that's one of those. It might be close in the third quarter, but by the fourth, it's like, forget it.
I think it's going to be like... I'm trying to do some math real quick. 23 to 27 Bengals.
You have Bengals winning 27-23?
Yeah. I think the Bengals have it. Like,
all right.
I don't know
wish
why.
They do. I hope they do.
I hope they do too. But I am picking the Bengals. The Dolphins are a little banged up. They are on a short week. They are traveling on the road. And the Bengals, I think, at 1 and 2, they're going to be playing like they have more to lose.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I'm going with them just because they're home. Like if Dolphins were playing at home, I'd probably go Dolphins. But a short week on the road, we'll see. Bengals are still a decent team. They still got Burrow. They still got decent receivers. They got Joe Mixon. They're not a horrible team, but I just think that they're stumbling a little. They need a recovery game, and what better to do it at home against the only undefeated team?
And the Eagles.
Oh, Eagles too, yeah.
All right, my question though, since you watched the game last week against Buffalo,
yeah,
how was the Miami front seven?
What, their offensive line?
Their defensive line.
Their defensive line, they got to Allen a couple times, but it's hard to say because our offensive line was like going 3 deep, dude.
Yeah, I would not use that Bills game as a measure stick.
No,
even with
here's
that,
the thing: the Bengals O line kind of starts at 3 deep.
Mm.
Burrow is still getting crushed back there.
It depends on game plan. Like if Burrow has a quick game plan of just like getting rid of the ball in 2 seconds, he'll be fine. Dolphins like to do a lot of blitzing shit though, so it really depends. How are the Bengals against blitz? Probably bad.
Tell you that.
Probably bad. So the Dolphins front seven, I guess, are going to be pretty good against the Bengals because they are really good at stunts and disguised blitzes. I will say that. They gave our line some fits, but they didn't blow up the game. The Bills' offense had over 400 yards. So let's not get it twisted. You know what I mean? The Bills still lost, but we had 400 yards of offense. So their defense wasn't amazing, but the Bills really just kind of like missed field goals or fucked up snaps. So like we killed ourselves. So I don't know. I don't think it'll be that great, but the Bengals depends on how they game plan. So I don't know. Other than that, you guys got anything else to talk about? I mean, we can preview our local games, but
yeah, we could. I mean, I feel like we've already kind of done that already.
I feel like we kind of did.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do Bills at Ravens, but
yeah, talk about Bills Ravens then.
Injuries.
Injury bowl.
I mean, it's not injury bowl because I think the Ravens are mostly healthy. I'd have to double check on that, but yeah. I mean, the Bills have a full week to figure out, who's healthy, who's not, and practice with it. The problem with the Miami game was they started a game, and like Spencer Brown went out to heat illness, and our center got hurt halfway through the game, and our right tackle, like the only person on the line that survived the whole time was Deion Dawkins. That was it. Everybody else like changed around, got knocked out, hurt a hand or some shit, So we'll see. Our secondary is going to suck. Lamar is probably going to run, but I don't know. It's a toss-up. I'm still going Bills on that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're a Bills fan, so I would...
I'm a little nervous, though, because Micah Hyde's out for the season, so one of our best safeties gone. Hoyer has been injured, might not play. And then our rookie 6th-round pick, Benford, broke his hand in the game last week, so he's going to be out. We still don't have Tre'Davious White, so he's out. So we have our rookie corner, Kyer Elam, and that's it. like we don't have anybody in corners. We have 2 safeties that haven't played a lot of starting snaps. So like the Ravens could very well pop off in the passing game. And that's what makes me a little nervous. That's all I can really say about it. We'll find out. Like if we go through the first quarter and like the Ravens are up 14 to like 3, we have a problem, and that's because they're probably passing the shit out of us and just picking us apart. If that happens, we're pretty much fucked. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. What do you guys got?
Well, I don't know. I'm hopeful that Zach Wilson comes in, and I hope he does really well, but my issues with the Jets really come down to the defense, and I'll keep saying it over and over again. But it seems like such a concern because we have a head coach who used to be a defensive coordinator. So you would think like it. Yeah,
but he's not Midas, man. He can't turn shit into gold.
Yeah, but I mean the defensive line is supposed to be good. And because there are some players on the defensive line, but we're now finding out like through advanced stats and whatever, like not really advanced stats, but they're looking at the rotations. You have like Quinnen Williams, who's only playing 60% of the defensive snaps. Because then got into
an argument with your
yeah,
coach.
and that's kind of that they're thinking that's partially the reason why he got into the argument is because he wants to be out there almost every down, and he's only out there for maybe 2 downs, and it could be part of the reason why the Jets' 3rd down defense sucks. Like it would be like, like, oh, they'll get the stop on 1st down, they'll get the stop on 2nd down, but then when it's 3rd down, they just can't get any traction going. So, and it's like there is no cohesion on the defensive line because they're all getting rotated at different times. So it's like you might have Quinnen out there for one play and he'll have JFM and he'll have like Huff or he'll have Lawson like out there with him as well. And then maybe Jermaine Johnson, but then they'll get subbed out. And then suddenly you have Sheldon Rankins and what's his face? the guy who looks like he wants to murder people. Shit, I forget his name.
So that rotation stuff is what the Bills do, and they mostly do it just to keep guys fresh all game.
Yeah, and
but I do get a little annoyed at it too, because it's like, on third down, yeah, your best guy should be out there, 100%.
Especially early in the game, because one of the issues that the Jets really have is that they'll get behind early. Like, it'll be first play, like, you win the coin toss, you defer, you're giving the opposing offense the ball, and they just nickel and dime you. And then next thing you know, you're down 7 points. Game hasn't even, really started for you yet, and you're playing to tie. You're not playing to get ahead. Like, we've only had the lead for 22 seconds the whole year. Like, and
Damn.
that was the Browns game.
Wow.
Like, that's when you're playing behind a lot and you're playing behind because of the defense, it really doesn't matter what the offense is doing.
Yeah.
So, we're playing against the Steelers. My hope is that we can, take advantage and maybe get ahead early. That would be nice to have a lead. As weird as it is to say, I'd rather have a lead and give it up than, to, just never have a lead at all at this point. Like, that's how damn down bad we are. What the hell? That's weird. But, yeah, if I had to pick a score for the Jet game, 2014 Steelers take it.
All right. I don't know. I think you guys got this game against the Steelers.
No, we don't.
I think
No,
you
we
got it.
don't.
I think you got it.
We don't.
I'd say like 18-14 Jets win.
18. 18-14 isn't a score.
11-5 scoregami. Jets win 11-5. Don't ask how. I don't know. You figure the math out.
Don't worry about it.
Dude, can you imagine if that actually happened? And what about the Giants? What do you think? It's a toss-up. I don't really know.
Neither offense is any good. No Shep. That means Bellinger, Richie James, Darius Slayton's going to have a role. Galladay has to catch a fucking pass, or I will book him a ticket to wherever the fuck he's from.
I think the Giants are way ahead of you on that one, but yeah.
They're about to bury him
For
under
real.
MetLife.
For real.
He's about to be the new Jimmy Hoffa lump.
I was about to say, he's going to be buried right next to Jimmy Hoffa. There's room for two down there.
Probably.
1917 Giants.
All right.
That's my prediction.
All right. I like it. Rest in peace, Coolio.
Yeah.
The homie. Pour one out.
Other than that, I think we can wrap it up then.
I think we're done.
Yeah.
I can go watch This Week in Sports Ball.
Yeah, that too. I gotta watch that, and
Rip Coolio, and congrats to Aaron Judge for tying the American League home run record.
Oh, wow.
what?
There's a lightning strike apparently on the Raiders Allegiant Stadium.
Oh yeah, you saw that?
Yeah. Ooh.
You see Tree's fucking quote about it?
Al Davis once again summoning demons from the great beyond.
I have been fighting this mob ever since we've been talking about our local score predictions.
All right, so then I'm good to wrap it up then.
Oh, I thought you already did.
No. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Later.